Hello, class. My name is Carmen. I will be doing my first taped interview today with my client. And just to let you know that this interview will be confidential and is for a project for my human services classes. So, will you like to tell me a little bit about yourself today?
Well, I choose to call myself New Jersey, but I'm going to tell you a little story about myself, and I'll go back as far as me being 7 months old because that's when our problem started. It wasn't just me; it was a family problem. Uh, our mother passed away when we were 7 months. When I was 7 months old. Uh, It was a bad death. Our father killed her. He was a womanizer, gambler. He did the whole 9 yards. And he was an abuser also. And he finally killed our mother. After killing our mother, he went and lived a good life in Puerto Rico because he did not do no time for it. It was an inquiry back then, and they just dropped it. Uh, my two sisters, my brother, and I grew up with a grandmother. We were dirt poor. Our father and his family had it all. They had money. They come from money. And I lived the life of a poor kid in the ghetto. By the time I was 9 years old, I was in jail, was incarcerated for a year. Uh, I tried to kill a classmate of mine for calling me an MF, if you know what that is. It's a motherfucker. I took things very hard, especially when it included something like that included like my mother. Uh, I grew up very rough and I treated people rough.
Would you say that was from losing your mother, not knowing your mother, or just from being a poor child
Well,
struggling?
Well, it was a combination of both being poor and struggling, not knowing, ever seeing my mother. I never saw my mother, not even in a picture. And I took things very hard, you know, and I did a year for that. They even sent me to a mental institution. This was back in the early 60s, where they put putty on your head with wires. I had that done. Um, all through my life, I was being incarcerated. It started at the age of 9. Most of it was for truancy. By the time I was 13, that's when things really got serious for me, for everybody involved, really, because that's when I was introduced to heroin. Uh, at that point in time, I also was already living with my wife. We've been together over 50 years. Uh, I still say that I'm alive because of this woman, or not in jail, spending the rest of my life in there.
Would you say that your lifestyle for your wife has definitely made it hard for your family, for your wife?
Well, my lifestyle has made it hard on everybody in the family, but my wife's lifestyle has made it more easier and comfortable for me because she has never used. I'm the only one in my family that uses. I'm the only one in the family that's just a crazy person out on the street. Uh, anyhow, at 13, we were already living husband and wife. Uh, throughout this time, I would be in and out of prison. When I say out on the streets, I don't mean we ever lived on the street. But I was always on the corners, taking care of business, running amok. You name it, I did it. Mind you, all this time, my wife and I are living with family. First with grandmom, then with my older sister, who gladly accommodated us in everything. But my addiction just kept growing and growing. When I was 16, I actually conned my grandmother into signing me up on a methadone program. I told her this would take my drug problem away and we wouldn't have to worry about it no more. And she believed it. Kept going in and out of jail. Throughout time, burglaries. Finally, I hit the big scene and caught an armed robbery. That armed robbery sent me away for 6 years. I was only supposed to do 4 years. But me and my stupidity always getting charges, I made my time longer. And my wife and family was always there for me.
What would you say your state of mind is now?
Oh, wow. My state of mind today, well, I go to church. I'm not on drugs. I'm always home now with the family. The streets don't call me no more. They don't call my attention no more. I'd rather be at home, washing dishes, cooking for the wife when she goes to work. She comes home tired. Clean house, take care of my dogs. Those are my friends besides my family. I take it one day at a time.
Well, I'm glad to hear that through all your struggles and difficult times that you are now doing better. I'm sure every day is a struggle, but I applaud you for that, and I thank you for taking the time and doing this interview with me today.
Okay.